I'm Siddharth Singh, the author of The Great Smog of India. The book is about the problem of air pollution in India, and more than that, the problem of the Great Smog that appears every winter in the northern region. The 5 key takeaways from my book. So there are actually more than 5, there are much more than 5, but if I were to pick out 5, they would be that number 1, we must panic. There was a very senior official in the midst of the 2017 smog who said there's nothing to worry about, there's no public health emergency, but that is grossly misleading. Over 1 million Indians die every year due to air pollution, 75% of them from rural India. You have air pollution is also linked to climate change, it's also linked to an impact on the economic growth story of the country, an impact on the fight against poverty in the country, because many households go into bankruptcy because of healthcare costs. So that is number 1, we must panic, and we should channelize this panic towards bringing about change. Okay, so that's number 1. The second lesson or the second key takeaway from my book is that there are gaps in our understanding of air pollution, but that should not matter. Right? There are gaps in our understanding of exactly where the air pollution is coming from on any given day. We have complex modeling frameworks and scenarios, but they don't accurately tell us exactly where the air pollution is coming on a given day. We don't know the exact amount of exposure that an individual has of air pollution. Therefore, how much am I as an individual being impacted by it? We don't know that. But devoid of this information, it does not mean that we should not act or that we should worry too much about getting the right kind of information. Yes, we should invest on sensors, we should invest on better estimation methods, but more importantly, we should start acting. We should start acting starting yesterday. The third key takeaway is that air pollution is an inequality issue. You expect air pollution or the air quality to remain consistent across regions, but that's in fact not true. Not just across regions, but even in the same city, even in the same neighborhood, the amount of exposure that people can have based in different locations and different professions can be very different. This is also multi-layered because in rural India especially, a lot of households end up using biomass as their fuels. Therefore, a lot of women and children who tend to stay home or who are forced to stay home, they end up suffering more from this problem. So therefore, air pollution will turn out to be a key inequality issue of our time. The fourth key takeaway is that there are no low-hanging fruits. It's a question that I'm often asked, Siddharth, what's the number 1 or number 2 things that we can do to make change? In fact, the problem is so multi-layered and so complex that we must adopt an all of the above strategy. We must do everything we can do across sectors, from energy to industries to construction to agriculture, which is where the crop burning comes from. On all these sectors, we must go above and beyond that we possibly can, or possibly we should be, in order to make change. And that's a key takeaway here, that there are no low-hanging fruits. And the fifth and final takeaway for the moment is that intelligent action against air pollution is pro-economy and pro-growth. It's a argument that's often made by policymakers and politicians, that we are restricted because all these actions are great and this may have a negative impact on the economy. For example, if we have to shut down a polluting plant, it may lead to job losses in their particular constituency. So no politician will be really pleased by such a prospect. But in fact, various studies have shown how intelligent action against air pollution for climate mitigation, how this can have a positive impact on the economy. As an example, our energy efficiency program has been saving thousands of crores of rupees per year. The mere switching of the old incandescent bulbs to LEDs has led to a saving of 15,000 crores per annum. That's a lot of money being saved. So this and the various other measures across the economy towards cleaner technologies can prove to be very good for the economy. It can prove to be very good for jobs, and therefore intelligent action is pro-growth and pro-economy. And that's it. Those are 5 key takeaways from my book, The Great Smog of India. Thank you.